Hello Internet, this is Barry Donning with Exceed Your Goals Fitness. Today I want to talk about the clean eating versus if it fits your macros, flexible dieting debate. For those who don't know, clean eating is where you avoid processed foods and you sort of eat, a lot of people will eat however much they want of things like brown rice, grilled chicken, etc. Or they'll sort of like base their nutritional program around that type of eating. Flexible dieting, or if it fits your macros, is a more volume-oriented system where you track how much you're eating, and provided that the foods you're choosing fit within your macronutrient totals for the day, then you're allowed to eat them, basically is the plan there. Most, if it fits your macros, flexible eaters do typically eat a quote-unquote clean diet for most of their foods, because most of what fits into the clean categorization are foods that are low in calories and high in volume. So they're kind of like you can eat a lot of it without getting fat. Now the only thing is though, is you eat a whole lot of clean foods, you will still get fat because the calories still exist. And when you go over your calorie total for the day, that's going to put body fat on past a certain point, no matter what type of food it is. Now that said, I come down more on the if it fits your macros, flexible dieting side, because first of all, I think it's more realistic for most people. Second of all, I think it offers more variety, which is better for filtration organs, as filtration organs are meant to filter toxins. There are toxins in all foods. There's actually not really much scientific evidence that foods that have been quote-unquote processed have less toxins than foods that are totally unprocessed. Most people use really vague and sort of flexible definitions of processed and or clean, and that sort of fit their own personal viewpoint, but don't really have a clear scientific definition. First of all, like for example, anyone who buys organic, super quote-unquote clean foods and then goes and puts it in their freezer and then sets it on fire has just severely processed that food themselves. So, at that point there's chemical reactions going on the stove. There's no telling what's happened at that point. So that, I question the definition processed and or clean. A lot of people who eat quote-unquote clean eat sort of the same things all the time. They eat, some of them bodybuilders will even eat the same exact meal of brown rice and grilled chicken for the majority of all their entire diet. And it is not good for human health to eat the same things over and over again. That really overpowers certain filtration systems in your body to send the same exact toxins through your body over and over again. At least in the case of variety, you're giving your body the chance to try a variety of different toxins, which leads to less of a likelihood that any one particular toxin is going to overwhelm an organ in your body. Now, furthermore, I think the flexible dieting, if it fits your macros, is more realistic for weight loss because it's specific and scientific and based on well understood things about calories in, calories out, and energy balance. So from where I'm standing, I've been doing most flexible dieters, and if it fits your macros eaters, will eat foods that are quote unquote clean for the most of their foods because they want to eat a significant volume of foods and they're on some sort of a calorie restriction. So in that sense, it's not really like we're arguing between two totally radically different lifestyles. It's just in one of them there's not as much of a focus on accounting, and in the other there's much more of a focus on hitting these right macronutrient levels. So maybe if you have a Snickers bar in there somewhere because you just really wanted one, but you didn't go overboard on your calories, you wouldn't look at that as a huge failure. You'd actually look at that as a regular day. So I think that's a really sustainable diet program that a lot of folks who don't want to just eat, literally grilled chicken and brown rice every meal for the rest of their life can stick with as a lifestyle, which is really just watching how much you eat, making sure that the amount you eat powers the fitness activities that you're doing. That said, I welcome everyone's comments on this debate and this discussion. There's a lot of different things that come up in this. I know that some clean eaters also monitor and track their food, so that's not necessarily exclusively in the if it fits your macros world. But so what's your opinion? Is it okay to occasionally eat some foods that have been through processing? I mean, what do you consider a processed or clean food? And do you think, which lifestyle choice as far as nutrition do you think is best? This is Barry with Exceed Your Goals Fitness. Peace out. Oh yeah, like, comment, and subscribe.